Yo guys, welcome to another video. Today I've got a Yu-Gi-Oh theory for you guys. Well, I'm going to be talking about if Yami Yugi lost to Yami Bakura, what would happen? Now, this is kind of a huge theory, guys, and it's kind of a what if happened. That's my first Yu-Gi-Oh theory, guys, so if you do enjoy, leave a like and subscribe for more. So, first of all, we have to think about Yami Bakura losing to Yami Yugi. The other way around, what am I on about? Yami Bakura winning against Yami Yugi, which obviously didn't happen in the actual anime. But in this scenario, we're going to say he did. So, Yami Bakura beats Yami Yugi. So then, the next part of the anime is the four-way duel. But obviously, Yami Yugi wouldn't have been in this because Bakura would have beaten him. So he would have been in this instead of Yami Yugi. Now, here's my theory, guys. All the same people will win in the other duels. We will keep that the same. But Joey would want to go after Yami Bakura for beating Yami Yugi. And then you would have Kaiba versus Marek. Now, I understand that Marek beat Mai, so Joey would also want to go after Marek. But I believe he would go after Bakura more than Marek. And here's why. Because Bakura is the one who beat Yami Yugi. Now, Yugi and Joey are best friends, and Yami Marek is kind of like he takes Mai to the Shadow Realm, right? And I can understand if you would say, "Oh, Joey wants to fight Marek instead of Bakura," but I would have Joey versus Bakura and Kaiba versus Marek. Now we're gonna kind of switch around the theory, and but we're gonna start off with Joey versus Bakura. So next up, you could have two scenarios, right? Because Marek and Bakura would be working together and still working together to that point, so they wouldn't line up together. So the first theory you could have is Joey versus Bakura, which you would have to believe that Bakura would win this because Joey he did very well against Marek, but obviously that wouldn't have happened because this is before that fight. So you would have to believe that Bakura would beat Joey and send Joey to the Shadow Realm. But then you could also have the other scenario where Kaiba versus Bakura. And this would be a very interesting duel because obviously Marek wants all the god cards and Bakura would have beaten Yami Yugi to get Slifer, and then if he beats Kaiba he would get Obelisk as well, so he would get all the god cards for Marek, so he would have, done his deed. And obviously I believe that in this scenario Bakura would beat Kaiba because of all this, evil cards or whatever. So in either scenario I do believe that Bakura would win. And then in the final you would have Marek versus Bakura. Now these two are working together, so this fight would not really matter. Now, this did happen at Bowsy, but in this scenario it wouldn't have happened. They would still be working together because Bakura would not have lost to Yami Yugi. And if Yami Bakura would have beaten Yugi and Kaiba, he would have given both the god cards to Marek. So this fight would not mean anything because then Marek would keep his what he said and give over the Millennium Rod to Bakura, which makes Bakura have 4 items now because obviously he would win the puzzle of Yami Yugi. Then he would have Eye from Pegasus, he would obviously have the Millennium Ring, and he would have the Millennium Rod. Then he would just need to collect the scales, the key, and he would also have the necklace because Yami Yugi had that and he would take that off Yami Yugi. So he would go after the scales and the necklace. But coming back to the final of this Battle City duel, I believe, look, this this battle could go either way because Yami Bakura would not really care about this fight because he's done what he needs to do. He just wants all the Millennium items. But Marek, he wants to become the Pharaoh, so he would want to become the king of games. So, I believe Marek would win this duel. But would this be a shadow game? That's my thing. Because these guys are working together, right? But then again, Bakura might just surrender the duel because he doesn't care about the duel and then go after the scales and the Millennium Key. And then if he gathers those two items as well, he would then, be the most powerful person along with Marek. And these two villains would kind of rule the world after this tournament. Now, coming back to the final of this fight, if Yami Marek wins, then this means that season 3 didn't happen, right? Because, obviously, who would be the good people left, right? You would have everyone defeated. Joey, Shadow Realm, Yami Yugi, Shadow Realm, Kaiba, Shadow Realm, you know, everyone. So you would have these two villains trying to rule the world, and maybe you would get Jaden or I don't know, Yuma or whatever, another Yu-Gi-Oh antagonist fighting these two villains who would rule the world, right? Or we could come back to this theory that they actually would play out the Battle City finals, and one of them would get sent to the Shadow Realm. So let's say, Marek gets sent to the Shadow Realm, and Bakura has all this. Well, he would have 5 million items at this point, but let's say he gains 7 of them, and then he would control the world. But then you could flip it, and Marek would control the world, becoming the Pharaoh. And it's a very interesting theory, guys. Now, that's kind of the end of this theory, guys. So if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And you want more Yu-Gi-Oh theories, tell me in the comments below. But there you go, guys. A very interesting Yami Bakura theory if he was to beat Yami Yugi. Bosh.